Do you want speaking leads for life? Infinite, innumerable speaking leads for life. Hey, watch this video. I am Tim David, and for those who do not know, I am marching on a daily mission to bring you live streams about the speaking industry as I grow my own speaking business by 4 times. That's right. I am generating $500,000 in 5 months, and I invite you along for the journey. Go ahead, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Would love to have you. Make sure you hit that little bell as well to get notified of all our daily videos. And I do daily videos no matter what, no matter where I am, no matter what's going on in my life. And, I will say there's a lot of snow happening right now, and I had to do a lot of driving through it, but I am here and we are ready to dive into speaking leads for life. Now I'm about to jump on to a coaching session, a group coaching session with all of our 0 to 10K members. And the topic is, where do you find speaking leads? So in order to prepare for this, and I've been doing this for, I would say, several years. Anytime I hear of a source of speaking leads, my little ears perk up and I tune my attention to that. And I wonder, how can I maximize this speaking lead opportunity and maybe even replicate? And maybe there are other speaking lead opportunities lurking in a similar area. So I quite literally have dozens upon dozens upon dozens of various sources of speaking leads, each source yielding dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of speaking leads. All right, enough hype, enough of the hullabaloo. We need to talk real talk. I'm going to show you my little map of all the speaking leads and give you a little look at it. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can fit it all in one page. And then we'll talk, because we're going to have a heart-to-heart, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Get Speaking Gigs community. So it looks a little something like this. And I'll kind of zoom in, but basically you can see there are 2 main headers. Either they contact you or you contact them. Those are the 2 options for speaking leads. If anybody can think of any other speaking lead opportunities, any other source, either they contact you or you initiate the contact with them. I mean, that to me, that's it. I don't know. I mean, that's no big mystery. So what we did here is we basically looked at what are the highest likelihood that someone is going to hire you. So you might find 1 million leads, but if the likelihood that those 1 million leads will hire you is in the 0.000000001%, then it may not be worth all that time, energy, and effort to reach out to those 1 million leads if you're not going to get it. So, hey mom, how are you? Good to see you in the stream. So the situation is, number one, the most likely to get the lead is at the very top of the list. Okay. And this bubble right here says you're famous. There's different kinds of famous. There's 4 different kinds of famous that I've listed here. But essentially, if they know who you are, they seek you out, and you are perceived in their mind as a celebrity of sorts, and that goes from A-list celebrity down to like industry level celebrity, then you're in, you are in. So behind that, just below that, is this little ball right here that says they saw you speak. All right. So you have proven to them, they know exactly what they're getting. They see you. They know you rock the stage. They agree with your ideas, and they themselves reach out and say, hey, we would like to hire you too. That's a pretty high quality lead. Now, I also understand not everybody has access to speaking gigs and to be seen. I guess I can zoom in a little bit here, but to be seen on stages or on screens. So next, word of mouth. Okay, so someone else saw you speak. They refer you to their friends, colleagues, clients, family members, whatever, like mom. And, they spread the word. This is different than referrals. Word of mouth and referrals are not the same thing. Tim, what are you talking about? What is the difference between word of mouth and referrals? Well, it's a semantics thing for me, but it's also a strategic thing. Word of mouth is they tell their friend about you. A referral is they tell you about their friend. And they say, hey, I have a friend who hires speakers. Let me refer you versus let me just tell them myself and make it word of mouth. Now, I know that seems like a subtle difference, but there's some differences in strategies and how you can be more proactive. Again, you can see there's not a lot of specific action items on generating word of mouth. Obviously, you want to rock the stage and, certain things like that. But, I know I do 39 different things at every single gig to turn gigs into more gigs. That includes generating word of mouth. That includes generating referrals. And again, that also includes marketing my butt off to the people who have seen me speak. All right, next we have content marketing. Okay, this is next down the list. Now, why? Again, just a quick refresher. Most likely to hire you, next most, and now they're finding you. It's a different color here for a reason, right? They are finding you, and they're finding you through your content or your website or maybe your speaker listings. Okay, and each one is a little bit less effective than the previous. So if they see your content, if they see an amazing article that is posted in Forbes, then they hear and see your ideas and they are motivated by your ideas to reach out and contact you. If they see a video of you posted on social media, they are engaged with that video. They see your speaking style. They know your content. Therefore, if they reach out again, they're more likely to hire you than if they just stumble upon your website and start scrolling around. All right, so we haven't had our heart-to-heart yet, so stick around to the end. We're going to have our heart-to-heart. And even just knowing these categories, even though I'm not going into the specifics of the dozens and dozens of lead sources, even though we just have the concepts, you can start to think each one, how can I increase my level of fame, right? How can I increase the likelihood that I'm on more stages and having more people see me speak? How can I increase word of mouth? How can I increase and put out more content? How can I maximize the marketing power of my website, et cetera, et cetera? And then here we have speaker listings, and there are, oh my gosh, I don't know how many speaker listing websites like Speaker Match or Speaker Hub or Event Raptor or Gig Masters, which is now The Bash, Thumbtack. I mean, there's so many different ones. Even if you get listed with a speakers bureau has a website and they may put a listing of you on that speakers bureau website, and that may be a source of gigs. All right, now this is the one everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to start reaching out and contacting speaking leads because they say to themselves, well, I'm not famous and I haven't done any gigs and I don't have word of mouth going for me and I'm not published in Forbes and I haven't written books and, I haven't done any of that stuff. So I don't even have a website or a demo video or speaker listings. Like, what can I do to get speaking gigs? Well, here's where we have to have our heart-to-heart. Yes, we can dive into the different types of outreach, right? We've got warm outreach. We've got intelligent cold outreach, and then we've just got cold outreach, right? And you can see there's so many ways to find organizations who are hiring speakers, so many ways to find conferences and events, so many. And these are like categories. These aren't lead sources, right? These are giant, like each one of these you click, they will expand to various, options. So let me give you an example. Like one of these is, cold outreach. So responding to call for speakers. This is all right. It's relatively qualified. Someone says, hey, we're hiring speakers and we need ideas. And they put out a call for speakers. Well, you can jump on Google Alerts or TalkWalker and have the internet notify you of those call for speakers going out. And then you can throw your hat into the ring. That sounds like a great idea. That sounds very encouraging. Yay, we get a lot of leads that way. You can go to tsnn.com, the Trade Show News Network, and you can just scroll all the events that are happening or all the events that are coming to your area or all the events that will be in August or whatever. So you can, certainly use a lot of these strategies to find leads. Coming up on 10 minutes here, we're going to have our heart-to-heart. Once you find the leads, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it, right? Let's say you have 100 leads. Let's say you have 1,000 leads. Unless you have the ability to cut through the noise, rise to the top of the booking pile with things like great demo video, great website, but more importantly, great messaging and great packaging of your messaging, right? So if you are not bookable, then it doesn't matter how many leads you have. And furthermore, leads aren't what gets you gigs. What gets you gigs are relationships. If I were to say to you, let me give you 10 speaking leads, 10 of my clients, 10 speaking leads, here you go, have at it. Wouldn't it be better if I were to say to my client, hey, let me introduce you to this great new speaker? That's not a lead. Now that's called an introduction or the beginning of a relationship. So I want everyone in the speaking industry to just stop with all of the more leads, more leads, more leads. That is not how you win this game, right? The way you win this game is more relationships. Now, once again, is it such that you have a relationship if you're a famous A-list celebrity? No, right? No, but maybe, maybe when an A-list celebrity dies, we think of I don't know, when Robin Williams died or Betty White died or Michael Jackson or whatever it is, like there is a feeling like we almost know this person, right? So we're kind of skipping a lot of the relationship building by being famous in those 4 different ways we can be famous. But even on down here, again, it all is relationships, 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 connections, right? And without that, and I know, again, we've got to initiate those relationships and you can contact them and initiate those relationships. But without any kind of marketing system or process or ability to convert that lead or likelihood of converting that lead, then it's all a waste of your time and your energy and your focus. So my business strategy and way I take my coaching clients through when they build their speaking businesses is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. We get you ready for the leads so that when you have the opportunity and when you're placed in a situation where you have an opportunity to gather leads or reach out and contact leads, you have clear, concise, compelling messaging. You have fantastic, or even best enough demo footage so that you can give them an example or a sample so they can see what they're buying, because a speech is intangible and a high trust transaction. And that is why blasting out to a zillion leads is almost never effective or fun, right? Because there is just so much rejection in it. I want you to think about this. Don't you know that there are other speakers out there? Don't you know there are other speakers agencies and bureaus out there? And you are competing with the best of the best out there, right? So if you're just starting out, the answer is absolutely not more leads. If you are established, the answer is not more leads. I want you to notice that some of the warm outreach strategies up here include past clients, past prospects, right? Current existing relationships. So this is the takeaway for this video from you, for you. Yes, there are infinite sources of speaker leads. Heck, you can just go and buy them, right? You can go to speakertunity.com. You can go to infousa.com. You can just go and buy leads if you want to buy leads. But without the ability to convert those leads and without the systems and the assets and the language assets and maybe even promotional assets, then you are absolutely throwing your hat into a ring that is flooded. Now, does it work sometimes? Yes, absolutely. I have speaker friends in my high-level mastermind groups who are doing this on a very, very large scale. And guess what they do every month? They complain about it. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And it's such a small percentage of my new business. And, we are just they've spent tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, dialing in this process. And there's nothing more frustrating than chasing down cold leads like a dog. So what we need to do in our speaking business, what we need to do in really any business, is to cultivate relationships and then replicate those types of relationships. You'll see that the intelligent cold outreach bubble, and I know I'm not sharing my screen here anymore, is riddled with ways to smartly focus. And I'll give you one. Since you stuck around this long, I'll give you one. You can go to any speaker listing site let's call it espeakers.com. Okay. And you can browse speakers on your topic. And you can do a couple things. You can see how much they are listed as in terms of their fee. And then you can see what their reviews and testimonials are. And you can also, again, of course, see their topics and their speech titles and those types of things. Find someone similar to you, or at least who you aspire to be, right? So a fee level you aspire to reach out to and reach up to. And then you just take a look at their testimonials. And guess what? There's 5 or 10 clients right there. Prospects, leads, people that you know have events. They are the person in charge of finding and hiring speakers, and they have the budget to pay someone who charges that much money, and they have interest in that topic. So that is what we call intelligent cold outreach. And it's something, speakers have been doing for a long time, and it's absolutely something you can take and do and get some new potential relationships in front of you right now. So that is a quick version of infinite speaking leads for life, and why what you don't need is more leads, and what you do need is more clarity in your messaging. What you do need is more ability to initiate actual relationships instead of just spamming people. For goodness sake, please don't spam people. And that is it for me. I have a group coaching call to deliver on this exact topic. We're going to dive deep, not just in the leads. And guess what? I'm going to tell them to do? I'm going to say, don't get infinite leads, right? Get 20. Get 20 good ones, right? 20 good ones. And then we're going to start an outreach campaign to those. So if you've got 20 people that you want to get their attention, you can. And those relationships are potentially worth tens of thousands of dollars to you. Well, you can send them a gift. You can send them flowers. You can, send them a fancy promotional package. You can invest in getting the attention and initiating a conversation. And if they say no, they say no, and that's fine. And then you move on to the next one. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we focus on small, targeted groups of highly qualified, highly likely to book you speaking leads. So all the way to the top, if someone saw you speak or you're famous, right? Those are the leads that we're looking for. And I know a lot of speakers bureaus have that situation where they have a celebrity speaker on their roster, and the leads just come in, and they have to sort of course, filter those leads and that. But, again, be someone who becomes a lead magnet, someone who attracts leads to you. Do not ever be someone who chases leads down like dogs. Do not be someone who is a pest. We say this all the time in the Get Speaking Gigs world. Be a peer, not a pest. So I know you may have come to this video for a desire to find out where you can find more speaking leads. And my hope is that you got a few nuggets here and there for sure. And any one of those is literally infinite speaking leads for life. You get one gig, you get one lead, one gig, and that can snowball, right? And again, we talk about this all the time. We talk about the snowball method and turning that one gig into, my last gig, I got 67 leads from my last gig and counting. They're still coming in. So the way to do that is again, not more leads, but better focused messaging, better, speech itself, better packaging of that speech. And I got to say, we got to stop beating the drum of more leads is better. More leads is not necessarily better. Sometimes more leads can cost you more than they're worth to you. So let's start prioritizing leads. Let's start focusing on our attention on people we can help and serve. And let's start reaching out. And let's start today. How's about that? I've got a few ways I can help you in the description. I've got a small, a medium, and a large. And that large is, in fact, my 0 to 10K in 90 days. We launch all kinds of initiatives in 90 days. Your head is going to spin at how quickly you climb that chart right here of the different ways to get leads. And, I invite you to join, take a look. This ain't the only, this isn't all the information, right? There's certainly line item after line item after line item under each one of these. And I encourage you to not only get the kinds of leads that you can help, but also put together the kind of messaging that will reach those leads. All right, that is it for me. We're going to wrap up. This is Tim David. Speak soon.